Hi guys, Smithical here and welcome to the second round of the XRL GP3 season, and today we're in Malaysia. Just going back to last race, we finished in 4th position, which was a pretty good result considering we're not that strong in the wet conditions. I know there was some misfortune with other drivers, but still 12 points to start the season was a pretty good result. And we're going to go into qualifying now. As you can see, we already did a lap and we did a 38.6, which put us in 12th position. You know, it was a pretty slow lap. We lost time in Sector 2 and Sector 3, and I think we could have gained about a second if we'd have hooked it up right. So if we hook it up this lap, then we should move up the order. And now we're in turn 3, not much to do in turn 3, but coming towards turn 4, and as you can see, we're a 10th down on our previous Sector 1 time, but we're 800s up on Jabbersmurf, so it's looking pretty okay as we're going to come towards turn 5 and turn 6. And we hit the apexes, so it's been a pretty clean lap so far. And then turn 7 and turn 8 now. Turn 5, turn 6, turn 7, turn 8 is pretty much I struggle with around this track, but we took them pretty okay as we take turn 9 alright as well. And as you can see, we're about a second up on our previous time. And then we take turn 11 hit the apex there, then turn 12 and turn 13, but coming towards turn 14, and we just struggled a little bit there, to be honest. I mean, I've always struggled at turn 14 in Malaysia and pretty much at every game. I think it's quite a hard turn to do, but we took it okay, but we lost a bit of time as we round the last turn, and we're going to come to the line, open up the DRS, and we're going to do a 37.1, which puts us in 6th position, 4 tenths off pole, and you know, I'm pretty pleased with that. I mean, I could have gained a couple of tenths, but it's nothing really worth squabbling about. Yeah, turn 14, you know, I struggle with. I could have done it a little bit better, but that's just the way it goes. Hopefully we can have a decent race. I mean, it's intermediate conditions, which, you know, are not bad. They're not great for me. I prefer it dry, just because I don't know why on this game I just seem to be very poor in the rain. You know, it's not like, you know, handling wise, it's just speed wise. And hopefully I can improve it, you know, as the season progresses. And as the 5 lights show, lights out, and away we go here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And we get a okay start. You can see we're sort of gaining on Samster, and as we pull it into lean, the Pied Piper starts gaining on us as we come into turn 1, and we lose a position to the Pied Piper, and we're just trying to take it very careful into turn 2, and we try and get a tight line, and then we seem to sort of gain a little bit on the Pied Piper, but then we have to back out just because we're going to run on the grass, and then in towards turn 4. And we just get hit, and I didn't know who it was at the time, and someone hit Rusty Nuts into me, so I don't know who it was, but it was very disappointing. You know, last season I didn't qualify just because of, you know, people not causing incidents, but there was going to be incidents, and I thought it was just safer to start at the back. And on lap 4, you know, I hit Samster, and looking on the replay, and you know, there's nothing I could do. As you can see, Bernie gets forced by someone, and Samster hits Bernie's tyre and just sends him out of shape, and I can't really avoid him. And then, talking about out of shape, Rusty Nuts got out of shape and we passed him. But then on lap 6, you know, we just miss our braking point, and we just have to swerve out the way to avoid our teammate, and that let Rusty Nuts back through. That was a bit like Bottas in Bahrain. Lap 7 now, and we're going to go into the pits, and we're following Rusty Nuts in, and we're going to put on another set of intermediate tyres. And I could have stayed out, but they were wearing pretty badly, and plus F1 Speed, who pitted, was gaining about a couple of seconds a lap on us, so it showed that it was time to pit on some intermediate tyres, well, fresh intermediate tyres. And as you can see, we pull them on, and then Rusty Nuts gets past us because he was ahead of us anyway. and there's a car coming down the pits, and I believe that's XRL Burnley. So we're going to be second last because of Samster's last, because of that incident earlier on involving us and him. We're just going to try and gain a few positions now, hopefully get some points today. Let's see, Rusty gets a little bit out of shape at that last corner, and we're going to try and get the slipstream on him. Obviously no DRS because it's wet conditions, and we're gaining on him, and I thought that our teammate comes out the pits and we dive it up the inside, but then it looked like we get a bit too deep, but we're going to have the inside line for turn 2, and we make the move done. And now lap 10, and we're behind Bernie, and we're just going to try and get the slipstream on Bernie. We're pretty close to him, and we're going to come out the slipstream, and we're going to have the inside line for turn 15, and we get the move done. And it's time now to close down Tom Chambers 92 in the Mercedes. But on lap 14 he already pitted, and a few other cars pitted, but it was time for wet tyres because there was hardly any grip, especially at turn 14 where I went off the track. I mean, I lost about 3 seconds, so it proved it was time for heavy wets, and I expect us to get jumped by our teammate, and I believe he pitted a lap earlier on the full wets, so he should jump us, and it'd be interesting to see who else jumps us. As you can see, Indigo goes past, then that might be Tom Chambers, yes it is, and Rusty Nuts, so we're down to 11th. But hopefully we can get past these guys sooner rather than later. I mean, hopefully we can get some points. You know, it's damage limitation today, but with it being heavy wet conditions. And as you can see, we're in 10th, and Tom Chambers makes a mistake on lap 18, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty straightforward move, and yeah, it is. But he might try and get back in the slipstream and make a move at turn 15, which he's thinking about, but we're going to try and get the wide line for best acceleration, and we keep that place. Lap 22 now, and we're in P5, and I actually thought about staying out till the end, but I thought, no, we'll pit just because, you know, I don't want to risk losing points. Just because, you know, it was a frustrating race, especially with what happened at turn 4 on the first lap. I mean, obviously, I didn't really expect us, you know, to get that good of a finish, because it obviously been wet conditions the full race, but, you know, it's still frustrating when you get hit off. You know, and well, it weren't just that; it was just some of the incidents we had, obviously with Samster and just missing Indigo on lap 6. And as you can see, we come out ahead of Tom Chambers 92 and Rusty Nuts. So we're in 8th position, and we'll try and close our teammate down, which we did. We actually gained about 5 seconds on him, but it wasn't enough. And we should come home 8th, unless he makes a mistake, which he isn't. And we're going to come to the line now, and we're going to finish in 8th position. And it ain't a bad result. I mean, 4 points is better than nothing, which I expected us to get, to be honest, when we got hit off at turn 4. But hopefully we'll have a better result in Bahrain, because it shouldn't rain. Hopefully it don't. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in Bahrain. Goodbye.